Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Yesterday, we went 2-2 on the premium side. I did have the Orlando Magic, though, as my top play. Look, I thought them boys had a legitimate chance to go in there, D up the Cavs, and win that game outright. Um, Cavs just came out hooping. I still think the Magic are live in that series. It's probably just going to be a home series. Both teams have been really, really good at home this season. Can the Magic steal one on the road in that series? Is probably going to be the $1,000,000 question. We did hit the under in that game, so that was cool. We hit with the Minnesota Timberwolves yesterday. We should have hit with that under in that T-Wolves game. The under was 214.5. Final score, they got to 215. Oh, it was annoying. So 2-2 for me yesterday on the premium side in the NBA. Of course, I'm looking to do better than that, fellas. I know. Today's the perfect bounce back opportunity to do exactly that. 4 more NBA playoff games starting today. We got the Celtics in action. We got the Clippers. Y'all already know how I feel about them going up against my favorite team, the Dallas Mavs, man. We got our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies in action. We got the Halliburtons, the Indiana Pacers in action, man. Today's a great day in NBA hoops, man. I'm going to cook it up and try to smash it per usual. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that continue to tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, including that NBA player of the day, man. We will bounce back on it. Scoop it up, man, and let's make some money today. Money making Sunday. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and hop right to tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. First game up, we got the defending Eastern Conference champs, man, the Boston Celtics out on the road facing the best record team in the NBA, the Boston Celtics, man. Celtics, 14.5-point home favorites here in this one. Do we understand how the line got to being Boston minus 14.5? Of course. The injury report for Miami is really, really concerning. Jimmy Butler, hey, the Celtic killer. You know what I mean? Playoff Jimmy. We already know what it is with Jimmy Butler, man, but he is out. Likely to probably miss significant time, if not all, of the postseason. Huge blow for the Miami Heat. Terry Rozier, he's listed as week to week. He's out for this one, so he will not be here in this game. Tough ask of the Miami Heat, man, to go out on the road and try to compete with the Celtics, a team that's been really dominant at home all season, a team that's beat up on Miami 3 times this season as the Celtics have won all 3 meetings. The thing is, though, regular season and playoffs, Miami Heat, they're just a different team, different monster, different animal. The one game that I think we can really target and look at some things is the last game these two teams played. It was a 110-106 win for the Boston Celtics out on the road. Jimmy Butler did not play in that game, but the Miami Heat were able to keep it semi-competitive. No Jimmy. Granted, that game was in Miami. The game was in Miami. It was not in Boston. But I want 14.5 points in my pocket in a playoff game, me personally. Do I enjoy fading Boston? Of course not. Can the Celtics kick the crap out of this current edition of the Miami Heat? Most definitely. Are they slightly motivated to do so? Probably, because of the recent playoff history between these two teams. All I'm saying is, I think the Celtics are the better team, but I think trusting the Heat culture, the Heat's playoff experience, the overall team down there in Miami, trusting their head coach, one of the 3 best head coaches in the NBA, and Eric Spoelstra, I'll grab 14.5. I'll grab 14.5. I think Tyler Hero and company can do enough to keep this one semi-competitive, kind of like they did the last game these two teams played. So I know fading Boston is not fun. It's not fun. And I know the Heat are really banged up right now. But getting 14 and a half in my pocket in a playoff game with a team like Miami, who's been to the Eastern Conference Finals the last three of the last 4 years, sign me up. I'm on the Miami Heat plus the points here in the first game of the night. Next game up, man, we got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, out on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers, 2.5-point home dogs here in this one. Hey, the line opened Clippers minus 1.5. I believe the line has now flipped to Mavs being the favorite because of the news of Kawhi Leonard. It's looking really unlikely like he's going to play here in this game one. So if you're a Clippers fan, better, backer, that, in my opinion, is terrible, terrible, terrible news. It may very well already be the nail in the coffin early in this series. I'm all over the Mavs here. Short, sweet, simple. Y'all knew that, though. With the line flipping, it doesn't do anything but make it a stronger play because it falls right into the situation the Mavs have been the best at all season long. As a road favorite, the Mavs are 19-4 this season ATS. When they've been on the road and they're supposed to win a basketball game, that's exactly what they do. And I think they're supposed to win this game here today. The Mavs, since the trade deadline, have been the best team in the NBA. The numbers say that, not I. The numbers back that up. Luka and Gafford, when starting together since then, are 21-2. Like, the Mavs have been on an absolute tear. I haven't even gotten to Kyrie Irving, man. We already know about playoff Kai. Like, there's really not even much that needs to be said there. We know about playoff Luka. The Mavs are working with double in-season revenge. The Clippers have won the last two meetings against the Mavs this season. I will say, that wasn't the current iteration of the Mavs. The last time these two teams played was on the 20th of December. So that was back in 2023, 4 months ago. It's a completely different Mavs team than they are currently. So I'm not really taking too much from the games this season. They also won the game before that. The Mavs won the first one this season. What I do like, though, is the double playoff revenge, as the Clippers have put the Mavs out of the playoffs. Two of the last three postseasons the Mavs have been in. So the Mavs are working with that revenge as well. Of course, that's on the forefront of Luka's mind. Luka has absolutely balled out against the Clippers in the postseason. If you go back and look at those Mavs rosters and go back and actually watch the games and not just look at the names on the back of the jerseys, the second best player for the Mavs in those series was Tim Hardaway Jr. He is game time decision in this game. I hope he plays. He brings a different type of energy. When he's on, he's one of the best players in the league. When he's off, get this man off the floor. I love Tim, but that's just the truth. But anyways, he was the second best player on that Mavs team back then. He is now probably the fifth or sixth best player on this current Mavs team. This Mavs team has drastically improved. I expect the best offensive player in the NBA, Luka Doncic, to absolutely come in here and go off, with the Clippers being without one of the best defensive players in the NBA in Kawhi Leonard. I trust the Mavs as road favorites. They balled there all season. I trust putting my money on the Mavs this season as they are the second best ATS team in the NBA. 48-34 against the number this season. Only team better was the Orlando Magic. And the best angle of them all has been the best angle we've had all season long. And that angle is simply, fuck the Clippers. Respectfully, man. Y'all know I've been targeting this series all season long. This is exactly the series that I wanted. I've been telling you guys all season the Clippers are fraudulent. They're not going anywhere. This team is done. We're finna stick a fork in them. And I've been telling you guys all season. I think Luka Doncic is one of the top two players in the NBA. You know what I mean? I really want to give him that one spot, but I can't because Jokic do be balling. And he is the defending champ, so I will respect it. But when you have a top two, top three player in the NBA, man, anything is possible just looking at the history of the league. Luka is about to enter that rare airspace, man. I think this is going to be a playoff run for the ages. I'm so serious for him. I'm so serious. I'm all over my Mavs for the series. I really like them here in this game. Y'all knew that already, though. Next game up, man, we got the Indiana Pacers out on the road facing the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks, home dogs, man. 1.5-point home dogs. I'm not surprised to see them home dogs at all. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 9 times out of 10, will not be available for this basketball game, which is terrible news for Milwaukee because they haven't been able to beat Indiana with them. Indiana Pacers are 4-1 this season against the Milwaukee Bucks. These two teams played 5 times this year. It's kind of crazy, but it was because of the in-season tournament. So when the chips were on the table in the in-season tournament, we saw Indiana go and get them boys. I see no reason not to trust Indiana here in this game either. I really, really don't. I think Indiana is just a matchup nightmare for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially without Giannis Antetokounmpo. I really, really do. Milwaukee is still the team that lost to an 8 seed last year in the first round of the playoffs as the 1 seed. That's still who they are in the forefront of my mind. That happened. I'm not going to let people forget that happened. So I don't trust Milwaukee at all. Indiana matches up really well with these boys. Indiana has run and gunned these boys multiple times this season, and I see no reason that changes here in this basketball game. I may hear you out on the experience argument for Milwaukee. Indiana does kind of lack that, and we saw a young Magic team yesterday who kind of lacked that experience struggle yesterday, but I don't think that's enough to get me off of Indiana. Experience, I don't think is enough to get me off of Indiana. Short, sweet, simple, man. That's really all I got for y'all here in this one. I like the Pacers. I see no reason not to take them. Milwaukee, they've been a disappointment all season long. One of the worst ATS teams in the NBA. Again, a disappointment last year in the postseason, so why not expect them to disappoint again here? The argument last season was they didn't have Giannis, and that's why they lost that first round playoff series. Well, looks like y'all might have that built-in excuse again, because I highly doubt he plays here. He might be back game 2, but it might already be too late because Indiana might have stolen the home court advantage. They are a young team, so we'll see. But I do like the Pacers here in game 1. I'll take them boys here and lay the points on the road. In our last and final matchup of the night, man, we got the New Orleans Pelicans out on the road facing the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, our favorite money-making team, man. They're laying 8.5 here in this one. Now, one thing that the books did do on the Thunder Buddies over the course of the season was adjust. Because, boy, we knew at the start of the season here on the Jam Session the Thunder would be one of the best teams in the league, bro. We've been betting the hell out of the Thunder the last 2 seasons. We love the Thunder here on this program. They've been our favorite money-making team the last 2 seasons. They've been the Thunder Buddies the last 2 seasons. We've said here on this program, Thunder Buddies for life. I see no reason not to trust them here in this game, man. I really, really don't. I looked for every angle and reason not to lay 8.5 with the Thunder here in this basketball game, and I couldn't find it. I really wanted to be talked off of the Thunder in this basketball game. I'm honest. I'm telling y'all the truth. I wanted to talk myself off of laying 8.5 with the Thunder in their first postseason basketball game and as this iteration of the team. I couldn't find the angle, though. I just couldn't find it. You know why? Because there's a reason the Oklahoma City Thunder are the number 1 team in the West. There's a reason the Oklahoma City Thunder are 8.5-point favorites over the New Orleans Pelicans. There's a reason I'm on the Oklahoma City Thunder buddies. Short, sweet, simple. I think these boys come out to hoop. I think they're a matchup problem for New Orleans. These 2 teams matched up 3 times this season. Pelicans won the first. Thunder Buddies won the second 2. Final scores in those basketball games were, first one was 110-106 win for the Pelicans in Oklahoma City back on the 1st of November, so way back then. The last 2 were in New Orleans. The Thunder won 107-83 on the 26th of January, and they won 119-112 on the 26th of March in New Orleans. All I'm saying is, I see no reason not to trust our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. We've seen them win at home by margin multiple times. We've bet them to win by margin at home multiple times. We know when they play a team, they're head and shoulders better than they usually kick the crap out of them at home, at the crib. What has been our story with the New Orleans Pelicans? I know they beat the Kings. I know they beat the Kings to get in, but still, that doesn't change the overall message about the New Orleans Pelicans. When healthy, they're one of the best teams in the NBA. That's what the numbers suggest. But they're almost never healthy. They have three guys that are always injury prone: McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson. If Brandon Ingram don't miss that significant time on the back end of the season, they might not even have been in the play-in tournament and facing Oklahoma City first round. But then they finally get healthy again in the play-in tournament, and down goes Zion. God damn. That's the New Orleans Pelicans for you. And when not healthy, you know who they are? The New Orleans Pelicans. Don't overthink this here, man. The Thunder Buddies are one of the best teams in the league. There's a reason they're the 1 seed in the West. I know they don't have a whole lot of experience, but these boys be balling, especially at home, at the crib, against teams they're supposed to kick the crap out of. And without Zion, I don't really like this Pelicans team. Brandon Ingram be hooping. B.I. do be hooping. But I don't think it'll be enough here in this game. I think the Thunder provide enough defensive pressure, enough defensive presence to kind of knock him off his game a bit. All it's going to take is a cold stretch from New Orleans, which they're very capable of going on, and the Thunder extend that lead, and that's all she wrote. We've seen this story too many times. I have no problem laying the points here with the Thunder. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thunder Buddies for life here in our last and final game of the night. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that continue to tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Sunday. Y'all know the drill, man. We just cooked it up. Hopefully we smash it per usual. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See y'all soon, man. I'm out of here.